Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Pat's Stamping Place. Um, Golly, I feel like I am stamping on the fly today, flying by the seat of my pants. So I hope you are enjoying the Labor Day holiday. And all of a sudden, I see that there's something not working right. So there we go. If you are here, let me know. Leave a comment or a thumbs up. I'm recording live on Facebook and YouTube today. I got the Facebook to work for a change. The last time I was on 2 weeks ago, it was not working. It wasn't working for me. It was working, but I think I did something wrong. So anyway, welcome. I'm back after a week away to the beautiful, beautiful Canadian Rockies. And hey, Sue, welcome. Hi. And the whole time I was there, I'm thinking, what am I going to do when I come home? What am I going to do when I come home? And this trip was canceled a year ago due to COVID. And so it was long awaited, but oh my gosh, it was so worth it. And sometimes you think everything happens for a reason. And in this case, I think it did. We had an amazing tour director, Canadian lady, actually from Switzerland, but she lives in Canada. And she was our tour director, and she was like a walking encyclopedia, and shared so much and learned so much about the history of what was going on. We'd round a corner and she would point out a mountain and know exactly what the name of that mountain was. So she definitely did her homework and was so enjoyable to be around. And we had a great bus driver in those mountains and everything. It was just amazing. Let's see, I lost my train of thought there already. Oh, and the weather. The weather couldn't have been better. I understand it's very hot there now, or at least it was the last couple of days. And we did have some nice cool evenings and cool mornings. And then it only got into the upper 70s during the day. And that was good. We had one rainy day that was our travel day, actually, from Glacier Park up to Banff. And amazing though, every time we got out for a photo opportunity, the rain would stop. So never once did I have to put up the umbrella. It was perfect. It was just perfect. Anyway, so as I said, I kept thinking, what am I going to show you this week? And probably back when this trip was scheduled, I had purchased the, let's flip down to my desktop so you see what I'm talking about. Purchased this Mountain Air stamp set and dies called Majestic Mountain. And I believe this was in a mini catalog a couple of years ago. And believe it or not, I had never touched it until yesterday. Do you believe that? Anyway, these are the dies that go with it. So it's perfect for trees and mountains, and it's a great masculine card. You don't have to live in the mountains to use this stamp set and set of dies. It's just a serene, majestic. I guess that's why they call that majestic mountain dies. So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about this stamp set. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Okay, that's not going to work. Thanks, Nancy. Yes, I was inspired, definitely inspired. This stamp set looks like it has lots and lots of stamps in it, but it does not. It has 7. You can see that down here, 7 stamp sets, 7 stamps. There we are. Somehow we're not zooming out like I thought. Okay. But anyway, this one has shadow stamps that are reversible. So for these trees, this is the shadow or the reverse of the trees. So you get a detailed image and then a shadow, which you just turn the stamp over. Same way with the trees, the mountains, this single tree. Let's move this here a little bit. There is a sun or moon, whatever you want it to be, and clouds and birds too. So that probably wasn't the best way to show that. But anyway, I do have some samples to show you. I've been playing around with a lot of green, so my fingers are inky. And let's get started. Let's get stamping. I'm going to make a diorama card today. And I think I did one of these probably early on in my, let's see if I can adjust this a little bit. In my video library, I don't remember, I did not go back and look, but I believe I did. And so there's going to be some dimension to this project, and I think you're going to like it, and it's very easy to do. So I'm using Evening Evergreen and also some basic white, and I've already pre-cut the mountains and some of the trees in basic gray and smoky slate. So just to make things a little bit easier. So let's see, let's get started first of all with this piece of basic white that is 3 3/8 by 4 1/8. And that's going to go on the inside, the backing of this diorama card that I'm going to make. It's a diorama pop out. It probably has a couple different names. I'm not sure. So it's going to go in this direction, which is the 4 1/8 side. So it's going to go this way first. Something isn't working right here. That's not working right either. There we go. That's better. There we go. And we're going to start with giving us a background. Now, let me start by saying I used, that I'll show you in some samples, some paper from the grab it here underneath, the Hues of Happiness designer paper. There are some amazing backgrounds in this with blues and greens. I'll show you one I've cut up here. And then these others are floral ones. And these make amazing backgrounds. So if you have any of this paper, you might want to try it out. So you could get the sky, you could get a river or a lake. We saw a lot of lakes too, and obviously the green for some trees. But I'm going to use this insert part and use some ink and a blending brush. So I'm going to start off with Daffodil Delight. And my yellow blending brush. And just kind of start off here. Give us some pretty sunshine. I'm not sure if there's any sunshine outside today or not. We've got a rainy start of the week and a rainy Labor Day. And it rained pretty hard yesterday too. A country club nearby always does fireworks on the Sunday before Labor Day. And I thought, oh, surely they're not going to have them last night. Well, lo and behold, about 8:15, they started them kind of early, probably because they thought it was going to rain today. I don't know. But my sister and I hopped in the car and raced down there. We probably got to It's only about 2 minutes away, and probably saw the finale, which was pretty amazing. But there were a lot of cars and traffic, so didn't get to see the usual fireworks because I love fireworks. All right, so there we've got some yellow and orange in our sky. And let's put a bright sun in there too. I didn't have this one pulled out, so let's put the sun in there. And I think I'll use pumpkin pie on that. So I still do have company visiting. My sister and brother-in-law are still here. They're leaving Thursday. Let's see if that's going to look good there. And my daughter and son-in-law are due in late tonight, or if they decide to stay over again, tomorrow. So the next several weeks in my life are going to be crazy. I don't know if I will be live next week, or at least for maybe 2 or possibly 3 weeks after that, because I will be driving to Texas with them, flying back whenever. I don't even have a ticket yet. But I will get to see all the grandkids. My granddaughter will be home from the Marines the end of the month because we share a birthday. And my little great-grand is having his first birthday party on the 17th. So that's kind of the way my life is going to be. So it'll be catch as catch can. Most likely not any videos. I don't know. So we'll leave it at that. So anyway, that's my life right now. I'm going to pull out this stamp, and this is the mountain stamp, obviously, and it is textured on one side, just the way you would normally think of any stamp. And then it is the shadow on the opposite side. You do want to make sure that your block is clean and that your stamp is clean as well, or it won't stick so nicely. So I want to make sure that the shadow part or the reversible part is what is going to be showing right here. And for that, I'm going to use Smoky Slate. I don't need the whole stamp, but I want at least to get good inking on the center part of it. Now I'm going to stamp that off on my scrap paper and put that up there so it doesn't kind of go into where the moon is, or sun. I guess that's the sun. And get a shadow right there. And I'm going to do it again. Let's stamp it off this time. Photopolymer really should be on a some kind of soft cushion, because there's no cushion on the stamp. So I'm going to stamp that off and overlap that a little bit. So now you probably can't really tell so much, but there is some dimension to that. Because the mountains are far off in the distance. Yes. All right, I have already stamped and die cut 2 of these mountain ranges. Let's see, where's my other shorter one here? And I'm going to put that right here. And that's a little bit shorter than I thought I was going to make it. That's okay. And for that one, I'm going to adhere it down with seal adhesive. Okay. And then this one, I've done another one. I'm going to, actually, I'm not going to use that one. That's going to mess things up a little bit. So I'm going to use the longer one that I did not trim off yet. And this one, I'll be able to offset it a little bit more. And I'm going to put dimensionals on this one, and then I will trim it off. So let me grab my dimensionals here. Just a little bit more chatter about the trip. There is an app that everybody going into Canada has to have. It's called ArriveCan. And it's a way for them to keep track of people. Even though everybody can go to Canada now, they still have some COVID restrictions. And we had like a 6-page printout with all of the rules and regulations before we left the area. And we arrived in Calgary. Okay, can I talk and create at the same time? We shall see here. All right, so this one is popped up a little bit, so you can see the dimension, flatter mountains back here, and then the shadow in the back. So let me trim this off. Glad I had that little one ready to go. Anyway, they said that within 15 minutes of arriving, and boy, that was a zoo. I won't even go into that story. I guess they wanted to make sure that nobody slipped into a bathroom to do anything. Anyway, there was no restroom getting off the airplane, so it was kind of ugly. I'm probably telling you way too much information here, but I'm just chattering. And but anyway, by the time we got on the tour bus, 6 of us were chosen. I use that word with quotes around it, chosen to get a COVID test. Well, and it had to be done within 24 hours. And of course, we were headed to a hotel. So the tour director managed to get that straightened out, because the next day we were actually coming back into the States for our trip to Glacier National Park. So anyway, it was very stressful, but those of us who were chosen, I'm putting quotation marks around that, did manage to evade, I guess that's the word I want to use, evade a COVID test, because chances are if you were tested positive, you had to quarantine there at your own expense. So anyway, that's enough of that. All right, now what I have done to make this diorama card is I took a piece of 5.5 by 8.5. This is evening evergreen, and I have scored it at 1/2 inch all the way down and 1 inch on both sides. And I'm not sure if you can see that in the light. I think you can. And then I have cut it in half so that they would be exactly the same size. So I now have 2 pieces that are 4.25 by 5.5, just as our normal card. One of these, this is going to be our little opening, I have cut a circle with the largest of the layering circles dies. So that's kind of equal distant right there. So what I'm going to do with this is fold this one down and this one back. And what's nice about this cute little thing is it will fit in a regular envelope. Okay, so this one's going to go like this. So it's in a little accordion, back and then forward, back and forward. And let me grab my bone folder and give that a nice crease. Okay, these are easy and fun to make and really give a real pop to a simple card. Now, on this piece that's the back, I'm going to do the opposite. And so this one's going to come forward and then back. I think I got that right. a good crease, forward and back. And if you get it wrong, you can just reverse it. It's not a big deal. Okay, so when this is put together, it will go like this, if you can see how that works. Can you see down through there? There we go. And then when it folds flat, it will go into an envelope, which I will decorate shortly. So now, this piece that I've created is going to go inside this. And we just need to get some trees down here. Now, I did one where the back was white instead of the same color as the front. I didn't like it quite as much. I'll show you all my samples, some of them good, some of them not so good. So let's see what we've got here. I've got some trees that go with the trees die, and that's also a little bit too short. So let me see how I can fix that. Let's see here. Here we go. All right. I had cut another one of these, and I'm just going to trim it down so that it matches a little bit better, and then I can stamp on it too. All right, so let's do this. Let's get my little baby trimmer. And part of that off. And part of this off. Just a tinge. I guess I didn't measure correctly on that other one. So here we go with that. And I didn't want to use white, so this is Evening Evergreen stamped on Pear Pizzazz. Not sure if that's my best green, but I'll show you the one that I did with Evening Evergreen on Evening Evergreen, and it was too dark and you couldn't really see the trees. They didn't pop out. Okay, so now I need to trim this off about there, and then I'll trim the rest off with scissors. It'll get mostly hidden down in the card anyway. So let's, that's why this is stamping on the fly by the seat of my pants. All right, so now here's the single evergreen. And let's go with the Evening Evergreen again. Let's see if this is going to look okay. Oh, we did see a bear, one bear. And we were on the bus. There was a man across the highway. He was out of his car, and it was a grizzly bear. That was not too wise of him to do that. But anyway, we did get the bear. Never saw any other major wildlife like caribou or anything else, but it was, again, it was amazing. All right, so now I'm going to just stamp these trees, some of them higher, lower, stamped off, some dark, to give that dimension of all of the evergreens. There we go. And it was a very dense forest, so I'm putting lots of trees on here. Okay, I like that. that's going to come down here. And I think that will be just about right. Okay, so I'm going to add dimensionals to this as well, and then show you how to put this card together. All right. Okay. There we go. So all of those are kind of popping out. No, we did not see any eagles. It was mentioned that there was a possibility, but we did not see any. I was in that area probably when I was about 15 years old. And obviously pretty much everything that I remember has been long replaced or whatever, and the highways and the roads were amazing. But they have overpasses as well as underpasses for the wildlife, and it's all fenced. So on what would amount to what we call an interstate with heavy traffic, you don't see too many animals alongside the road. So we were very lucky to see a bear. All right, so now all I'm going to do is pop that in here. So we'll get back to our seal. And that should, if I measured right, go right there in the center. There we go. So there's the back of the card. All right. Okay, it was good to give it a good crease to begin with. Right now on the front, I'm going to stamp some of those trees again across the bottom in the evening evergreen. And just kind of drop down and give it another little dimension at the bottom. So I don't know if you can see that really well, but that's what you get with evening evergreen on evening evergreen. It's dark, but at least you can see that something is stamped there and it looks good. Oh, I know what I forgot. We got to have some trees. Here's your eagle, Nancy. Let's see. Let's get the basic gray. And these little birds, or we can call them Canadian geese. We did see a lot of those. They're probably headed for our neck of the woods, perhaps. Make sure my birds are going in the right direction. So let's put those up here. Full strength, and then some other stamped off. So there we've got some birds up in the sky. Okay, now it's time to put it together. And because I did this as one piece and scored it that way before I cut it in half, like on this one, it was all scored at once. Rather than doing them two separate pieces, this is going to kind of ensure that these will match up perfectly. So I'm going to take a piece of tear and tape and add it to the outside tab of each one of these sides. Just on the back, you'd only need it in one place. And burnish that a little bit with my thumbnail to pull that off. Because if you have a good, strong adhesive, somebody's going to pull this up, pull it, keep going back and forth to say, oh, how's this working? And so you want a good, strong adhesive there. And my fingernails aren't working either, so my take a pick tool is not handy right this moment. All right, so now I can take this front part and match this up with this. And that's off a little bit. I shouldn't have pressed it so quickly, but, and then this one over here on this side, because I'm using Seal Plus, so it's pretty strong. It's okay, it worked out okay. And there is our little diorama or pop-up. So you see the picture there. It will fold flat to go in an envelope. And if you do want to write something on the back, you could put a piece of white cardstock back here. I have one more thing to add to this. Here we go. And that is one of the single trees. And I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to put dimensionals just on the bottom. Thank you, Sue. This is a fun little diorama to make. I'll show you one that I had done a long time ago that has a flower in the center. So you can do this for so many different things. So let's put that there. I'm not sure I like my greens that I chose. I'll show you one that has the white instead of the Pear Pizzazz. And then here is a tag from Stylish Shapes, and I've pulled out, where did it go? Yes, a thank you from the, what stamp set did I use for that? It's one that would go and coordinate with this very, very well. And I put it in a very safe spot. Grassy Grove. This would coordinate well, these two stamp sets. With Grassy Grove, there's also a die set to go with this one. And this would also look good as a background with the mountains. But I'm only pulling out the greeting from this for thank you. And let's see if I can do that straight. Not very, very good. I got a mark on it, so let's clean that off. Well, now it's on the floor. And I am not, oh, it's way under the table. Let's see what I can do here. How about that? I've got this little circle and it's already got a straight edge on it. Let's do that. Let's see if I can do this a little bit better. How about see the good? These don't even have the index label on them. See the good, and that's what this trip was all about. See the good in the world, see the good in nature. See, get that going in the right direction, yes. Okay, it's so easy to get a little edge on there. So I'll stamp it there first. Okay, that's good. That's why you just tap, tap, tap. And okay, that's going to have to do. That's not good either. Well, there's a little mark there, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how that would be on the card. I'm not going to stick it on there because I want to replace it. But anyway, there's the card. Now, because these trees are so gorgeous, let's add that to the envelope. And this is perfect to go along the bottom edge of the envelope or on the envelope flap. And add a little bit over here. And there's our envelope. And here's our card, which does fit in there. That's what's nice about it. It's got some dimension and fits easily in an envelope. It does pop up a little bit, but it would definitely go through the post office and the mail without extra postage. And then it will pop up when it comes out. Okay, so that's today's project. Let me show you a couple other samples. This was one that, get some of my junky stuff out of the way here. This was one where I colored right on the white paper instead of adding a sheet on the inside. This is also one that is stamped green, evening evergreen on evening evergreen paper. So you can't really see the trees very much. And then I used white to pop those out. So there's one. I kind of got on a roll here. Here's one where I also put paper on the inside and a little bit more on the shadow, which I think you can see a little bit better there on that one. Okay, so that was a good one. And then here's this one. For this one, I used some of the Hues of Happiness designer paper and sponged that a little bit, and mostly white on the trees. And a thank you there on that one. And then I did do just a basic card with just the shadow back there on all of those mountains. You can see the mountains here, and then just the tall trees. So it would be a good masculine card. It would be good for a sympathy card. So we've got lots of choices here. So I hope you enjoyed. I am going to try and do a video for next week. I'm not sure when we're heading to Texas. That's up to my kids. They're here for a reunion, as well as being able to see Aunt and Uncle they have not seen in a long time. So it's going to be a great rest of the week. But I might be able to do something very simple over the weekend. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Sue. I hope some other people were watching on Facebook as well, or YouTube, or catch the replay. But at any rate, have a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. It'll be a short week if you have to go to work. And I will see you when I see you. And I will also, let's see, let's get back to my face. We'll also let you know on Facebook what the plans are for what I'm doing. I doubt that I'll be taking any of my supplies with me to Texas. So we'll just see how that goes, because we got lots of things planned to do on the way down, as well as some things there. So it's just going to be a great rest of September, because I probably won't be back until early October. So thanks for being here today, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.